Yes, guys, Brazil versus Morocco finishes 1-1 in the World Cup. ये सबसे anticipated game था going into the group stages, especially in the first week or so. We were looking forward to this game. Two big teams. Brazil, I think, were sixth. Morocco were seventh. The FIFA ratings could have been the opposite. But yeah, it was a good game of football. Maybe you expected more goals. Maybe if you're supporting Brazil, you wanted them to win. Or if you're supporting Morocco, you wanted them to win. But in the end, I think both teams will be very happy because in the group, they have Scotland and Haiti. They'll be expecting to beat those teams or at least get a draw against Scotland and beat Haiti and confirm qualification. Obviously, finishing first in the World Cup in your group helps you because then you play the second of the other group. But sometimes, finishing second is not bad as well. So I think both teams will be pretty happy. I think that Morocco started the game really well. Agar aap dekhein, they were attacking. They were using the fullbacks. Ashraf Hakimi was outstanding in the beginning, very fast, quick, making those runs, getting the crosses in. And then Ismail Sabri getting the goal, man, because of the constant pressure from Morocco, making sure that they also got the goal, putting Brazil under pressure then. And after that, Brazil woke up. Brazil were like, man, aisa nahi chalne wala hai. We need to also get back into the game. They were slow off the blocks, but then they started finding Vinny Jr. Farag ye tha, I think initially the Morocco wingbacks were more influential and Brazil's wingbacks weren't as influential, but then the build-up play trying to target Vinny, and Vinny started making those runs. The duel between Vinicius Jr. and Ashraf Hakimi was a fascinating one, and I think it's a one that slightly went in Vinicius Jr.'s favor. That pass from Guimaraes, finding Vinicius Jr., he goes past a couple and then bends it into the right corner, getting the goal for Brazil, getting the equalizer, and after that, Brazil became a different team. They became a bit more confident on the ball. They had more touches. If you see, Morocco had, I think, 12 to 13 touches in the box in the first half. Then in the second half, they only got one, and Brazil had many more touches in the box. Also, the corners were more for Brazil. They had more possession as well, and it gave them the confidence. Overall, like I said, I think both teams will be slightly disappointed that they didn't win, lekin they'll be on the happy side, or they'll be at peace ki bhai hum ye match haare nahi. Considering to the group, you don't want to have that extra pressure that, oh no, we have to now win the remaining two games. Obviously, you're expected to win those games, but you don't want that added pressure. That pass from Bruno Guimaraes was a very nice one as well. I think he played pretty good. Brazil also had to substitute Casemiro. I think that was a bit of a surprise that, okay, he got the yellow card and they didn't want him to get sent off, that they substituted him, but they could have maybe got Ederson. They decided to go Fabinho, maybe because of the experience, but I thought, Ederson would have probably got that young energy. Also, Cunha, I felt, came a bit late. If he came a bit earlier, it would have been nice to see him come in and create more chances. You saw when Cunha came in, Rafinha got into the game a bit more. Otherwise, Rafinha was isolated. That was another big problem. Rafinha was isolated in the game. Vinny Jr. was more of the focal point. And you also give credit to Morocco. Morocco, जिस तरीके से defend करे, जिस तरीके से उन लोग organized थे, they weren't giving Brazil too much space to play with. And that is goes credit to the coaching staff, goes credit to the players. They made sure they stifled Brazil, they stifled the likes of Rafinha. And yeah, look, it's not how you start a World Cup, it's how you finish. And Brazil will be looking at, we might have not been the most clinical today. We might not have had as many clear-cut kind of chances, but aage jaake we can still win this World Cup if things go in our favor. Obviously, Neymar is in the squad. He hasn't played yet. There are, questions, are Brazil a better team with him or without him? But I feel that if they can get out of this group, win a few games, and maybe they play a quarter-final against a big team and Neymar comes in even as a substitute, it might help them because he is a baller. And Ancelotti, he loves winning, and obviously he's going to look at the best way to win this World Cup, and maybe Neymar is part of his plans. Overall, the defense-wise as well, Brazil, the fullbacks is a bit of a concern because I think they're still okay defensively, but going forward, they're not pressing as much. But as the tournament goes on, that will be important. Marquinhos and Gabriel are solid. They did concede, but they're still a solid backline. And against other opposition, against Scotland and Haiti, they will be more vocal and it'll be difficult to break them. But aage jaake, they will be under pressure as well. So let's see what happens over there. In terms of the group, like I said, I think these two will be relatively happy with the point, and I still feel that they will qualify. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, subscribe button. Also, in other news, Qatar scoring a last-minute equalizer, 94th minute against Switzerland. Switzerland dominated the game. They got the early goal and Bolo got the penalty. After that, Switzerland had many chances. There was a clearance off the line, a lot of things happening, but they just couldn't get the extra goal, and that's what happens. If it's a 1-0 thing, it's always scary, whoever you're playing. Qatar did sit back for a lot of the game. They didn't have much possession. I think it was 36-37% possession, but last minute, 94th minute, they got the header. What a beautiful header and what a goal, getting a crucial point, and it's opened up the group. Now Canada's on 1 point, Bosnia's on 1 point, so is Switzerland and Qatar. Anyone can qualify from this group. Anyone can come top 2, top 3 in this group. So it makes it very exciting and probably gives Canada also a chance, to still top this group. So maza aane wala hai. Credit to Qatar for hanging in over there and getting the point. Switzerland will be a bit upset because they were the favorites to win this group. They'll be upset drawing their first game in the World Cup. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, subscribe button, and stay tuned to Chasing Trophies. Thank you, everybody.